Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the grand finals here at the Northern Arena Beat Invitational presented by Bell. Main qualifiers, NP versus FDL. This is now game number 3. Game 1, one-sided as hell. Game 2, I don't think could have been more of a 180 in the other direction. 85 minutes later, here we are. Next team to take 2 wins, moving on to the LAN. I'm Zayori, joined again by Motpax. Trent, I'm feeling tired already. I can't even imagine how the players are feeling, let alone poor Bisa. It's already late into the night, and he's got, at the very least, 2 more games of Dota to go.
Yeah, but they got the moral support, man. They're the underdogs. Let's be clear. This is
Do they
not
have the moral
necessarily by
support?
a proven roster. Yeah, man. I see everyone showing up in the chat. You know, CC's in there. He's cheering for his old squad.
All right.
I saw Ryman there earlier. And, you know, Grant's around. Everyone wants the reunion, baby.
I like that. Everyone's here,
747's
a.k.a. 2 people.
Hey, I named 3. Just you.
That's
Don't
true.
worry.
Though I reckon Grant won't be here for long, as I imagine MDL is getting started pretty soon. But
That's true. Yeah. Shout out to
NP,
those
man,
guys. Those
3
have
out
been
of
good.
3 games here, Trent. Shadow Demon first pick. That seems to be their hero right now. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
but what
just-
has changed?
They're all about
changed?
it. Axe has
The axe,
made
man.
it
They
through.
let it through. Why? I don't think that. I mean, I guess between the holy trinity of the Stan King Oracle, the 747 OD,
Right.
and then the MJW axe, they have determined that MJW is not worthy.
Well,
That's
last game.
that's what they're saying right now. They're bad mouthing MJW.
Yeah.
Can you believe
well,
that?
Well,
Can you
maybe they
believe
are.
that?
I see where you're going with this. I mean, last game, the OD, we saw at the end, the clutch Ags pick up for the game winner. And Oracle, even when they were able to control the Oracle, right? There were a lot of fights that started with Oracle getting popped right away by the Morphling. Still, like, that constant threat, if he gets that ultimate off, it changes the fight, and it's just easier to get rid of him, man. Just ban him out. That's exactly what they'll do here. The Warlock pick, though, is interesting to me. What are we looking at here? Is this a core lock, or are we looking like a support lock here?
Should just be support lock. Making a big entrance into the competitive scene, showing up at MDL. The last time we really saw Warlock was that whole anti-drow strat thing. I want to say eHome was one of the teams that was first pioneering that one, but when drow strats were first making that big comeback like 2, 3, 4 months ago kind of style, people were picking this support Warlock just to dump it in on top, huge range to stop those pushes into towers. Everyone capitalized on top of that. Good laning support against a lot of these offlaners, can zone out using that heal slash damage over time. A little bit versatility there. And MVP were using it just the other night in MDL. Of course, they used to be famous for their March Warlock, but that was in the mid role. But again, it was Reason, I believe, playing it on the support role there too. So,
And we did see a
good.
support Warlock, what?
From NP.
NP, yeah, you're right. We
it
did
was
see them
yesterday.
play that, yeah. I think we even saw it once earlier in the tournament, too. I feel like it was a South American team that picked it up. But either way, not the...
That was yeah, it was cool because that was for up against the Faceless Void.
Yeah.
Where they were using that in conjunction with they had something else
like a
too.
Kunkka or
the Elder
something.
Titan. That's what it was.
Elder
So you have like kind of like this double idea, right, between like big giant AoE control kind of defensive abilities.
10 seconds.
Ricky now, third ban by Team NP, and the Naga Siren taken out by FDL. Naga, an interesting choice to ban out here. Again, I feel like my memory's tickling me that we did see at least 1 or 2 Naga games earlier in this tournament. Last game, we were blessed with no Radiance carriers and still had an 85-minute game. I don't even want to see what these teams have in mind if we've got Radiance carriers on the field, so I will be okay with that Naga ban.
That was Annie and I were casting the game. I think that was yesterday too. But that was the one where the crazy puck pick came out in the offlane and it worked so well.
Yeah.
Kataro went crazy on the Storm Spirit, and there wasn't quite enough control from NP to take care of like that Naga or with the Naga in like the role that position 1 she never got big enough to really be a big threat or anything like that. So.
10
Now Undying, 4th ban from FDL. All right, they tried that in game number 1. That was like the hero that we pegged as kind of the big backfire for FDL. They just weren't able to force any fights, and he felt pretty lackluster. They will prevent him from getting into the hands of NP, whatever that's worth.
Yeah, I think the Undying combination with Batrider is good. The IO combination is nice, but with the Axe and the Warlock already there, it already... Like, those are 2 decent heroes up against the IO, so it might be already enough of a, dissuasion. Okay? And you don't really want to head on into that if you're NP. Perhaps just hold out on their position for SVG. We've kind of talked about his bigger picks The setup from the Shadow Demon is really important for opening up his pool. So going into that Nyx Assassin in the support role, and as well as going on into the Sand King too for position 4.
All right, FDL, now's the time to get decisive. Figure out what they want to do with this draft. We have seen MJW on Axe be such a playmaker, though. I know you talked about it when he got picked up, but I'm just thinking back of, like, there have been a couple of games that seemed like almost doomed at first in the laning stage, and he gets a Blink Dagger and just completely turns the momentum around. Sort of like how he played the Sand King
last night
in Game 2. I mean, like the last game we just saw, it got a little overshadowed by the second half. That was a lot of just turtling and pushing, but that first, like, 30 minutes, there were so many big MJW Sand King plays that, like, allowed that game to get to where it did, right?
Yeah, it was total night and day from, like, the Batrider game where he wasn't able to get the items to get things going. That time he just got his blink up and was very successful in his rotations. Expecting kind of the same thing here. The big problem with the Axe that we'll often see for the enemy team is trying to match someone up against him in lane. You need some combination of being able to not only survive up against them, but you also don't want him just, like, cutting your tower and getting total free farm, forcing you to farm under the tower, and letting him get into a nice early Vanguard that then lets him get a blink still a decent time while being ridiculously tanky.
All right.
There's our
Vengeful Spirit. Yep.
Classic.
Great
right?
against the Batrider. You know, you can't have Oracle. Hey, there's a Vengeful Spirit still there. You get a little swap-arino.
They didn't ban the Slark either for Bisa.
Yeah, you're right.
Another kind of, you know, that means that if your Batrider gets matched up against the Slark, then you're just using Pounce, or rather the you know what it's called, the Purge thing. Jeez, whew, Long Night Dark Pact, and getting rid of those stacks. Maybe they'll go for a different hero, but we do know it is one of those ones that FDL like. They actually ran it mid for 747 the other night, which was kind of cool.
Oh wow, that is neat.
It was up against the TA.
Still having a Shadow Demon like this, I feel like FDL have starting to go away from banning out some of these illusion heroes, and some of them are still pretty scary. Like even the Juggernaut, you know, still in the pool, still works very well with SD. They kind of have pick of the litter here. I mean, shit, they could pick.
Not very good against Axe and Warlock though.
That's true.
He has a bad day. Like BKB piercing from the ultimate, and then Axe as well.
Okay, they take the Kunkka. That's nice and safe, as we've seen. Of course, pairs very nicely with the Shadow Demon. Great support cast.
Was he ignored in the... no, he was banned in the second phase last time. That's right. Okay. But he was ignored in game number 1. I'm not crazy. Yeah, he was. Yeah, actually, look, because then we had our weird blank ban situation. But comes out this time. The boat, ridiculous. We've all seen how good this is.
Yep. Yeah, good follow-up for the Batrider. If you can set it up right, but still a lot of burst damage.
Certainly, when thinking about your mid laner here, kind of scary for 747. He has a Kunkka and a Shadow Demon roaming on in. Not much you can really do against Torrent in terms of heroes, right? You think about someone like a Puck or something as someone who, like, maybe post-X, if you time it properly with, like, Orb and Phase Shift and stuff, maybe that's survivable enough. But I don't think that's going to... It kind of jives with their synergy, but I also haven't seen too much 747 Puck come out from them, so...
Oh, there's the Ursa. You were just talking earlier how this seems to be a team that doesn't really go to the Ursa as much as many other teams in this current meta, but they're going to have a go at it. And no matter what MP pick here, Ursa should be able to go man-on-man pretty easily. This is, I think, a good pick that rounds out their draft pretty nicely.
Yeah, this is great. Bisa has been going much more outside his box in like the past couple games, not just in that, again, you know, Faces Void Morphling. It was a lot of that leading up into the tournament, the first few rounds of the qualifying, but now he's gone into the Sven, he's gone into our Terrorblade that we saw in the Animage the other night. So I'm very down with the Ursa. MDL, again, plenty of Ursa play going on there. He kind of becomes this hero that just creates space around the map for maybe like a more space-needing mid. Like in the early game, we saw it was actually an Ursa and an Alchemist the other night, but just had that same idea of like Ursa is just so ridiculous. Like AUI was playing it for NP where it's so hard to gank him once he hits level 6, and he can go into those more dangerous parts of the map. He can get big kills. He can help you control up Roshan even from the Radiant side. So I'm digging what FDL have. I think their last mid here can just be someone who has some decent... I think like an Alchemist kind of like Radiance hero wouldn't be the worst. Obviously the Naga is out though.
Yeah, sorry, I just linked my Twitch Prime account. I got distracted, but agreed.
Seriously, you're crowning your Twitch account?
Yeah. I wasn't sure how you do it.
You're looking at the chat and you're just like, oh man, I really need that crown. Oh, yeah. Then you messed up your emotes? Oh, dude.
It didn't update yet. Okay, it's not my fault, but no, this is great. You know, I've wanted to have the Moonduck emotes, but I haven't wanted to sub to my own channel, so this is a great way to kill two birds with one stone. Marana and Beastmaster, final bans here from NP and FDL. What are we looking at here? Final pick for NP. They will need their final core, probably the safe lane AUI hero. Last time we saw this team run Terrorblade, it was on Envy in the mid, but they could always switch it up. They've got some flexibility here for sure.
Yeah, it's true. They don't know what the last thing is, so I would assume this will be AUI, or at least I assume it's going to be a safe lane Terrorblade, because they don't know who they're just going to throw mid up against Terrorblade. And I guess if he gets enough help from a Cuck and a Shadow Team, it doesn't really matter who you send mid, right? And then you just give AUI something a little bit safer up top.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see why Terrorblade couldn't go mid this game. It's not really so bad. You know, it's not going to be a mid hero that'll be roaming and ganking so much. That is like one drawback of it, but it's really not bad. TB comes online with Metamorphosis pretty early on. And it will be the AUI Terrorblade, as it looks like Envy will take the Razor mid. Okay.
Yeah, nice little pick here. So one of the problems, like, when your first pick, as they were this game, you get to kind of counter out the whole way through, right up until this very last point, right? Like, they have, like, the Vent and the Kunkka, then the Ursa, and then you get these nice two heroes to counter up against the Ursa, which is really good. You have the Terrorblade, and then you have this Razor, who is someone who's always the bane of the existence of the Ursa. But now it's the final pick here.
Yeah.
1 second left, FDL. They're going the
They
Morphling. A little
take
bit of a
the
split
Morphling.
pusher. Yeah.
All right, so good call on the support Warlock. There you go. Pretty easy call, I suppose, but
Thank you.
confirms it. Dude, I saw a guy in chat, as soon as
also
you said
believe-
it, that he just like, I just want to hit this guy right now. It's going to be a core lock. Like, well, sorry, bro. You were wrong. That's that's what I like to call misplaced anger.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Typical.
Well, I think,
happens.
again, a lot of pressure on MJW in this game to come online and kind of control the tempo. I think I felt this way about most of the NP drafts so far, but I feel like it's just a little more obvious and conventional what they want to do. You know, they early to mid game, they want to group up. They want to use the MSS initiation and tower sieging abilities of Envy and AUI. I would imagine this game, it's probably a little bit less of the straight up 4+1 that we're used to seeing, and maybe a little more of the earlier 5-man. We usually see AUI on heroes that like want an item to get another item, you know, like Lincoln's Morphling or Battle Fury Juggernaut or something like that. And I think with TB, they might be able to change it up a little bit and get AUI involved maybe a little earlier on.
I think, like, looking at this, it kind of, again, it feels like the difference between Game 1, Game 2, so much of it on just FJW and MSS and their roles in the game and how their initiations were going to kind of kick off that early start. If MJW can get up that early blink and try and hop on some of these earlier pushes that tend to come in from Envy, we have seen that NP have been rocking quite a bit on this Dire side, but they seem to like it. The rotations are always pretty crisp. Taking over that Radiant jungle is something that SVG is extremely good at, and we have to see if he can do it here again.
Yeah.
Bax gets forced out. You can definitely see a lot of battling in the jungle over farm.
Yeah, I think anytime I see a Shadow Demon Kunkka support duo, especially when it's both of them are on the 5 and 4 and not some kind of a core Kunkka, it's like high risk, high reward, right? If they find the kills, this duo can really take off and be a real nuisance and actually shut down a lot of heroes. At the same time, if they roam around as a duo, don't find those kills, both of them can be a little bit lackluster without any kind of farm, and you know it is easy to fall behind in terms of experience. So a lot of pressure on those two also, and if they can invade the jungle like you're talking about, that is always good stuff. And you mentioned Razor versus Ursa, another matchup that favors Razor at least most of the time. Of course, once Ursa gets like, you know, Blink, Basher and stuff, you might be able to jump on top of the Razor and catch him off guard. But in this like laning stage and these earlier fights, the static link and just raw speed of Razor makes Ursa's life very, very difficult. Not an easy hero to stick on by any stretch.
Yeah, but in the laning stage, this is I think this kind of comes down to, again, that fact of being on the Radiant side makes it so much easier to at least use the neutrals, get yourself a little bit of farm. But we were talking about Beast stepping outside his comfort zone, and you know, back to the Morphling we go. So, not to say, you know, he can't play these heroes, just as this is what we're used to as spectators to many of Beast's games, right? Morphling faces Void, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So they are sacking Susie here pretty hard. Like, let's be frank. Envy Razor, that's so scary.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal.
Like, he is a Venge and a Warlock. They can't do anything mid. I don't know if stanking Did he buy Iron? Okay, so MJW has to buy an Iron Talon because he's not going to be getting any help from a support.
It's good that he realized it, though. I mean, look at this right out of the gate. 747 immediately. Static Link comes, and he's got no choice but to walk away. Torrent will connect, and they'll probably get a little bit of follow-up damage here. Nothing that a Stan King heal won't be able to deal with. SVW trying to get some extra right clicks in here. The Admiral himself.
And again, they just come down aggressive right now, too, because SVG wants to be down here anyway. Maybe they won't get the best possible farm on AUI, but now you guarantee that you're pulling this support down from the mid lane in here, and you're guaranteeing this one-on-one matchup of Razor versus Ursa. Like, at 747, he's like, yup, later, dude. I am in the jungle, and if you got to try and hold these supports down here as well if you're the Radiant, right? Because if SVG heads in the mid, that's just disaster. MJW has Iron Talon up against a Bat. That's a disaster.
Yeah, you know, when you put it that way, these lanes are pretty rough. Immediately, MJW up to 4 stacks. He can't do anything. Down bottom, Bisa. Huge pressure coming his way. He gets the heal from Warlock, but it's not even close to enough. Now 0-4 in some trouble also. He micros around the trees, and that'll keep him alive. But these lanes off to such a rocky start for FDL. It's not very often you see mid lane sacked at the first wave of creeps, but that's it. Envy is literally free farming.
Yeah, this looks like OD mid or something up against, well, pretty much anything. Let's be frank here besides Razor.
And it's not like Ursa has an Iron Talon. He can jungle at this early level, but it's not really easy for him. It's also not particularly fast. He's going to have to chew through regen. AUI loses the meta down bottom, and now we'll see a fight start to break out. Stun on 1437. The Warlock damage over time will start ticking him down. One more auto attack from Venge. It's going to be close, but he will eat a Tango. And I think he's going to live through this.
MSS,
yeah, he certainly
MJW.
will. Oh my, MJW in so deep.
He was trying to do like creep cutting plays and stuff, but this is just... I'm sure they're just question marking so hard right now on NP. Just all right, these lanes are brutal.
I think if you go Iron Talon first, that kind of takes creep cutting off of the table. You know, especially against the Bat Rider, at the very least, you need a magic stick to even have a chance at surviving something like that. Like that is.
I mean, he can't go to this lane. There's just no. He has boots and a windlace.
So, are they gonna sack the Dire safe lane and mid and just like sharing is carrying in the jungle? Like this is as devastating as it gets.
Really weird.
Okay.
It's like you're looking at it and you're like, am I missing something? Like, what's? No, they just need to like explode at coming out of this, right? There's no other option but that.
Well, explode indeed. I mean, even Morphling, like in this safe lane, not farming that well. Terrorblade, conversely, not really farming as much. Creep's now shoved into his tower. I also like these weapons on AUI. You don't see these cosmetics that often on Terrorblade. It's just like, I don't recognize the Blades of Baneful Hollow, but they're pretty cool.
Yeah, but there's no Arcana, so like...
Yeah, this is...
What's up with that, dude?
Yeah. I guess that what's cool about the TB Arcana is that it works with all the other sets, right? It just adds on.
Yeah.
It's not in place of.
Cool.
Yeah.
Disappointing. He's got a cool horn, though. I like his like unicorn thing going on.
That is kind of cool, actually.
So let me look at some last hits here. 12 and 9. So Bisa's still winning the last hit battle down here at the very least. Here's SVG making his little rotation on over.
Yep. They really are just sharing the jungle right now. So, like, for MSS, he goes for early Arcane Boots. You don't see this on Bat Rider that often. I think Tranquil's way more the norm. So he'll just free farm away. Very curious what the Blink Dagger timing is looking like for MSS here. If he goes for this kind of drum build, or if he does something a little bit different. That classic, like, rush the Blink Dagger. It's not that often you see a Bat just in complete free farm heaven like this. Envy, I don't think his build changes at all. With this kind of free farm, we'll just see that classic Dragonlance BOT. He seems very comfortable with it.
Question marks, man. Disruption down bottom. SVG's... no, he didn't get it.
Oh, but 4. He's in some trouble. Venge pulled back. Gotcha, says the Admiral Kunkka. And another one on the scoreboard for the Dire. 3-0 here at the 4-minute mark as AUI gets another with the Metamorphosis. No, not the highest CS here for the Terrorblade, but he's at least about even with the Morphling.
Dude.
And they actually go in.
He's even taking his camp. There's just nothing for MJW right now.
I mean, look at mid lane. Envy's just like, oh, hey, Ursa. Yep, welcome back to the lane.
Anyone gonna come? Like...
I mean, Envy's now like a full level and a half ahead of the Ursa. He can just cut the wave. And there's like literally nothing Ursa can do in that matchup. That's one of the like most one-sided like 1v1 kind of counters I think you can match up. This axe now level 5, just brown boots.
Wow, they even scanned him, dude.
Dude, it's
That's
a 3K net worth advantage already at 5 minutes. MSS, he's got the lasso, 2 stacks of sticky. MJW misses the Berserker's call, and I think he just dies here. MSS will chase him down. It's an easy solo kill. Now on the other side, SVG taking some damage, but Envy on his way in. He denies to the neutrals. Envy stealing damage from one, pursuing the other. It doesn't get better than this for NP. They find a double kill for the Bat Rider, and their Kunkka denies to Ancients.
Fatigue possibly setting in here.
I mean, Jesus. This is very reminiscent of game number 1. You know, this if you joined us late, this is what game 1 looked like. And then we had that whomper of a game 2.
I feel like they forgot that Razor wasn't banned. That's my only explanation.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
the 5th pick Razor was
imagine.
that.
Except
How do you
once they saw
forget,
the
though,
Razor,
against
I don't
Envy?
know.
Like, that is, at this point, becoming one of those, like, all right, Envy Razor, you got to ban it because he's going to pick it and dominate a lane. Down bottom again, set up from 1437. They missed the Torrent, actually. That's unfortunate, but that's okay. Rinse and repeat.
Maybe they thought
Uh-oh,
that
Susie.
they wouldn't aggro with a TB.
Oh,
it's TB.
no. Envy's got a haste rune.
Yeah, you're dead.
That's,
Go
how
for
do
the
they
deny.
say? Rather unlucky.
Oh.
Envy times it nicely, still finds the
now.
kill.
Oh, this lovely damage I have.
SVG almost dies, but he moves it around. He'll stay alive for now. Warlock does secure the kill, compliments of the Fatal Bombs, but Envy able to click down the Morphling with all that stolen damage. Now they'll chase down the supports. 4, trying to get behind the tower. Plasma Field does max damage. One more auto attack, and Venge is guaranteed dead. They'll make an illusion. They haven't found him quite yet. They're pinging it out. I think they know where he is, and there you go. That illusion will finish him off. TP in now. Ursa's respawned. AUI. Oh, no, they lock him in. It's an AUI sandwich. He's got nowhere to go, but Stanking will have to pay with his life as Envy mans up and tries to help his friend. FDL do get a kill out of it. 2 kills, in fact, but I think NP overall still fairly satisfied with that dive, especially given that MSS is still just, you know, free farming up top, having the time of his life.
You know, I got a couple, you know, PMs, like, you know, try rein it back in, guys. You know, you lost a little bit there at the end. You know, I get that. You lose focus in like a 90-minute game. Probably said the same stuff like 5 times, but then to come into this, there's no analysis here.
Yeah.
This is just, the only hope in this game is you just suddenly get like a triple kill or something bottom, right? With like Axe runs out of the jungle and gets the kill with Tranquil Boots. I don't think you can wait till Blink. There's no way they'll still have time by then.
Yeah.
And NP are still pressuring now onto Visa.
And they caught him with an X. They're going to pull him right back. He's already used the waveform. Even Envy making this classic rotation. He'll steal the damage, and the Morphling gets killed once more. Supports can't do anything about it. Stanking on his way back. Rose says, hey there, ho there, hi there. Let's start stacking up some Shadow Poisons. Slows him down for Envy to join the party, and it's another one on the scoreboard. 8 minutes in. Nothing but dominance coming out of Team NP.
2-11 now. 3 heroes on top of the board.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Tier 1 up top, soon
Look
to
how
fall.
far MSS is. He is 700 and almost 50 gold here. He's got his arcane boots. He has his drums. He's just like, yep, I'm just going to sit in this lane the whole time. Anyone
Yeah,
comes
dude.
here, I'll kill them. It's great.
He's just chilling.
Blink Dagger's going to be fantastically timed. MJW made a wise move here to go into the enemy jungle. That's actually the best thing they've done this whole game. Make the most of this map.
Yeah. It feels a little risky, but at this point, like, they've been sharing the jungle. It's not like it's been efficient back at home with him and Ursa kind of trading back the camps. And they might actually scout him out. Oh, no. MJW, they find him. They even drop the Demonic Purge to get things started. SVG now with the X-Torrent combo and this dubious support duo. Sets it up for Envy. 12 to 2.
He had no mana left for a disruption, but then Envy showed up.
Sad times, Trent. Sad times indeed for FDL fans around the world.
Indeed.
It's looking very dark.
Probably the FDL players as well. One would expect. As 747 now on the run from a very speedy and bongo-loving Bat Rider.
He doesn't even have phase boots. I don't think you lived through this one, sweet Susie. Pops the ult, starts laying in some auto attacks, but Envy just running circles around him, giggling all the way. Yeah, those Fury swipes don't hurt nearly as much when you're at negative damage. Suffice it to say.
All right, smoke play coming out. Level 4 Warlock, ready to make things happen. Almost level 6 on the bench.
Okay. Yeah, the level 4 Warlock has proved to be quite a bottleneck. Doesn't really feel like Stain King's been able to do a hell of a lot this game. I have a brutal match for him. TP home, Morphling will live. NP on the aggressive here. MSS still without a Blink Dagger, only a few hundred gold away. Looking for a target, perhaps.
I'm just feeling for FDL right now, man. What can you do? All you can do is try and kill heroes. It's the easiest thing to avoid is NP right now. Like, unless you put yourself in super compromising positions, like all alone, how on earth are they ever going to kill you with the levels they have? They have no items. And as long as you don't die, there's no way you give up this advantage right now.
Yeah.
Like at 747, he smoked like looking for a courier, dude. Like, no, I mean, he's hoping for a kill, but not going to find anything.
Yeah, even a courier would be a blessing right now. Uh-oh, down bottom. Looks like they found the Warlock. MSS dives deep.
Look where he is right now. It's 11 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't really fault the Warlock for that one at his tier 3 at 11 minutes. Being dove by this Bat Rider. I mean, that secures the Blink Dagger for MSS now. Up top, Shadow Demon. I mean, even the Shadow Demon has some okay farm. He goes in onto Bisa. Bisa tries the TP, but that's an easy disruption. Now SVG has the X, the Torrent. He's already wave formed. Oh my, it's another dead Morphling, I think. 4 stacks of the Shadow Poison. Envy in the back line. Plasma Field doing some decent damage here, but the Morphling could still get away. Axe actually gets a kill on Kunkka. Turns into a lot of small skirmishes as Envy goes in kind of deep. Looks like the Shadow Demon will actually fall to the Warlock. Now he drops the rock. Envy could be in trouble, but MSS is here. He's got the lasso. 747 pulled up to the high ground. Nowhere to go, but Envy getting blocked in by illusions. It's a 3-0. Maybe a 3-1, as yes, it will be. MSS finishes off that kill on the high ground. Maybe looking for more. A kill on the bench will be nice, but loses the Firefly. Needs to be careful. Okay, sloppy stuff from NP.
The fact that a kill gets on MJW as I was kicking off on the Kunkka, that's huge, right? His Blink Dagger might be the only thing that could possibly turn this into a salvageable situation that can call some people into an Ursa and then, well, some culls. Perhaps open up a chance at Roshan, but it is now bots. Dragonlance done for Envy. It's going to be very hard to track down. Short range CC from a Vengeful Spirit. Going to have to be relying on, like, swap, basically, and even that's pretty short. Then you have a Warlock ulti. So it's basically just blinking MJW.
Speaking of MJW, caught by the X Torrent. Follow-up from the team. Another nice flame break from MSS. Knocks him back. Well, he dunks an illusion. Gets a little movement speed bonus. It's cute, but not enough to ensure survival. And the wicked 6 streak for MSS continues, now 7-0-0. Dire maybe looking at a Roche? Absolutely.
Yeah. You look at like a drums bat at 13 minutes. Like, okay, well, yeah, he's probably close to his blink. He's got 1,400 gold. Oh, wait, no. He's got drums, blink, and 1,500 gold. Top of the network chat right now.
Yeah, 7K net worth at 13 minutes. That is absolutely insane. 10K net worth, the overall lead for NP. This is, I don't want to use the word insurmountable quite yet, but this is pretty serious. A little misplay there. They grab an illusion in the jungle. It's a wasted lasso and boat, but hey, that's all right. Just making a little space for Roche to go down. Nice little play there from AUI. Sunder the illusion. Easy peasy Roche. So Envy, he gets the Aegis. Yep, there you go. Time to fight, baby.
All right, it's game time though. MJW, he's about to get it. Where you believe, dude.
The blink.
2 gold.
The problem, though, is it's almost at the point now where he'll have the blink, he jumps in, and they can just turn and click him down because he's got nothing else.
Oh, they just pinged it, dude. MSS, can you, like, chill for 2 seconds? You know, you just sometimes you walk past a ward and the enemy team knows that your one salvation has arrived. Feels bad. They're going to camp him. Oh, they checked to see if he went to the camp.
Looks like Venge might make it back.
Oh, MSS, you know he wants to. SVG wants to.
They're thinking about it. It's so tempting.
Oh, just do it, honestly.
At this point, they might as well. They're so damn close. But talk about space, man. FDL absolutely disinterested in picking a fight right now. They've got Morphling just trying to farm desperately in the enemy jungle, looking for Lincolns. and still not that close to it. Definitely one of the drawbacks to a Morphling pick in this kind of scenario. He just brings nothing to the table at this stage. All he can do is try and split farm.
Yeah, this is, we're still just waiting. This is the smoke MJW is looking for right now. Again, it has to be this. I really don't see any other way to get back in this game. But they're not split up. NP, they saw the blink on the ward. So they're like, okay, well, blink's done, guys. Guess now we have to commit to stuff.
Yeah, I always
And
love
that shuts it down.
when you see one-sided games, the creative names that people come up with for what FDL or NP stand for. You know, so, some of them just, they get you right in the lulls, man. Oh, Lord. Here we go. Oh, MSS thinking about an initiation. X marks the spot. Needs to be a little careful in those scenarios. You can't just grab somebody with the lasso. If it pulls you back, it'll break the tether. How far can Bat jump without the lasso breaking? It's not very far.
How far can he jump, like...
So, like, if he has somebody...
Oh, it's, like, only the range of, like, the little lasso thing.
Oh, okay. So it can be, like, a
to
pretty
the point
short
where
range
they wouldn't move.
swap to, like, pretty much any swap breaks it. It's not even, like, a range thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it had a little bit more of a tolerance than that. Where he could kind of, like, blink, like, you know, a third of the distance or something, and it would still hold tether, but guess not. Bisa. Oh, my. That was actually pretty close. MSS had a lasso there. Alrighty. Morphling lives. He picks up the Dragon Lance, so...
Yeah. I mean, you have to, right? There's no way you're getting... Like, what does the Lincolns even do? Like, you don't get lassoed. I'm sure you're still dead in that situation if MSS jumps on you, so...
I mean, there's, like, the X, you know, there's the disruption. There are a couple of key initiation things that Lincolns will save you against, but... Yeah, Dragonlance at least gives him a tool to sort of come to fights, you know, at least have enough HP that he's not just blown up right away. That's something. I mean, there's merit to that for sure. Oh, we hear a lasso mid. Who's it on? It's the Ursa Bear, 747, completely isolated. No friends inbound. That should be an easy kill. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Envy going in onto the Venge, as well as the Morphling. Envy's hanging on to the Aegis. He's kind of going hog wild here. It's 1-on-3. And
yeah, it runs out in a minute and a half anyway.
Easily just walks back, yeah. Happy to use this as a regen rune, I think.
Yeah. Call that wave down bottom. Get that gold, baby. And now he's out of here. He's like, oh shit, there's heroes. I don't want to be here.
Yep. All right, slow and steady for NP. I mean, you look at that gold graph, and it's just moving further and further in their favor, constantly finding pickoffs, farming in enemy territory. I mean, no surprise that they're pulling further and further ahead, and at this point, not really too much pressure for them to end the game. You know, I think they're happy just limiting farm, looking for pickoffs, and they'll just kind of naturally come. No need to force the issue.
Look at the range of initiation, too, because there's a blink dagger on 1437.
Already at 18 minutes. MJW again forced to dunk a creep to try and get the movement speed, but makes no difference. Kunkka catches him, and the combo brings him right back. Starting to feel bad for FDL.
Yeah, this is, I'm shocked they just haven't GG'd. I don't know. I guess they just think maybe there's a chance they'll throw. Maybe they'll get some crazy axe spins.
Dude, this one, I mean, I don't like to call it like, early, but this is...
I know, this is like so unthrowable.
Like, mid and safe lane were sacked. Like, NP had 2 cores literally free farming for 5 minutes and still finding kills. Like, it's just... If there was ever a game to just write off as, you know what, guys, we just got out-strategized for this one. This might be it.
We messed up. You know, like, sometimes they get brewed as Bisa... he's trying to get that replica as far away as he can.
And not going to happen. Kunkka hits him with the boat.
Yeah. But, like, some games you just get brooded, you know, and you lost, and you can accept that, and I think this is just a game where the lanes just... Something was miscalculated in your head. And you were just like, oh, yeah, I guess, you know, maybe it was just the aggro TB. That's all I can imagine. They were like, oh, my God, they're aggroing with a TB.
Oh, my God. Again, 747. He's not even out that far. They've just got so many ways to catch him. Disruption to initiate means they've got no way to interrupt the TP. And Ursa lives, but that's barely even a consolation at this point. He shows his face in lane. I think he killed like 2 creeps, and then they immediately jump on him. Like, FDL have to just be scared to leave the base. Oh.
So, well, what are some things to look at from the draft other than obviously these ridiculous lanes? The MJW axe, what we saw was it was left in the pool. They took the Shadow Demon first on NP, so they pick up the axe and the it was the Warlock in that first phase. But the Batrider being left is huge. That is one thing that you'll often see banned out when teams want the axe because of that 1v1 matchup, right? Like axe, Sand King, they are two guys that love to be matched up against other melee heroes. They want to try and get some big victory in the lane. Maybe they want to have a nice little buddy for like a dual lane situation, but if you're able to get a 1v1 of Bat Axe, you know Bat's just going to run you over. There's nothing you can do. I mean, you can try and itemize and make it like survivable, but he just went up there with like Iron Talon. I mean, you can't even itemize. It's just a dead lane.
Well, I think at the very least, Stick gives you something. You know, it gives you like that extra little bit of sustain to maybe like catch the Batrider if he gets cocky. Without even a stick, it's like the most straightforward matchup for a Batrider possible. It's just one-dimensional. You see him, throw sticky. You see him, throw sticky. If you get up to 4, dive him. And that's pretty much the strategy. 747, speaking of diving, gonna jump right on him. They were trying to bait. Now they drop the rock. This could be the fight for FDL, but now the counter initiation. The boat flies over. Axe and Vengeful Spirit die almost immediately. It's a fast 2 for Nil. Sand King trying to TP home. He will make it, but 747, he gets brought back. A noble effort, a nice bait from FDL.
He's got to sleep, guys.
Fortunately, they don't have the damage.
I actually can't believe they're not just calling this right now. Like that was admirable. That's your one chance. You had a good idea of what they would do. You predicted it perfectly. You got the call on to the bat. You dropped the rock on him, and he got disrupted. I don't even know what's going on right now. There's a Manta Terrorblade meta in your face.
Yep, they've already used the glyph. No outer towers remain, and that's it. Sand King calls it. Quick game 1, quick game 2, or pardon me, quick game 3. We'll see what game 4 has in store. Will FDL take a win and bring us to the ace match, or can NP just close this one out 3-1 and let Bisa go to bed? Only time will tell, but I mean, I honestly don't know what else to say about that game. That is one of the most, that might be the most one-sided game we've seen in this qualifier for the Northern Arena Beat Invitational. I mean,
unquestionably.
Never have I seen 2 lanes sacked like that. Like, do you think the fact that he had to share, the MJW had to share the jungle with the Ursa, like, slowed down his blink timing? If 747 could have stayed lane, like, could MJW maybe made more out of the jungle and then come online to turn things around?
Then there's like heroes rotating mid and other things happening. It's hard to tell, right? But like I've never seen a game where it looks over at 2.5 minutes because 2 lanes are sacked, and that's what that game looked like.
Yeah. The 5th pick Razor, the coup de grace on the draft there. MSS
more like the 5th pick Morphling.
Yeah, that too. MSS with a perfect showing, 805, didn't concede a single death on the Batrider. 515 GPM Batrider. My God. All right, well, enough about that, folks. We got Game 4 around the corner. I'm Zyori, he's Mottpax. Thank you so much for joining us here for the coverage on moonducktv. MDL getting started soon. See if we can get this one wrapped up. Stick around. We got at least one more game coming your way for our grand finals tonight.